So we're double live. Happy days. We are now double live on YouTube and TikTok. Happy days. So yeah, where was I going? I was talking about injuries and performance and things. And my cup of tea. So yeah. Oh, let me show you. Oh, sent me a rose as well. Thank you very much, Jaden. Appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I don't know what any of these gifts and things actually do. Does it mean, I don't know, maybe you can inform me. Does it mean that not YouTube, TikTok will send me out to more people? I don't know. But yeah, I like helping people. So really, if you've got something you need help with in life, you got a question to ask, I talk about consciousness, I talk about reality kind of not being what we think it is. I talk about visualization, meditation, kind of the science. Okay, I don't know if you can see in the background. I learned quite a lot about the body, not a huge amount, but quite a lot, about more than most people, about how the body works and why it does certain things. Then that took me down into looking at emotions and our beliefs and thoughts. Okay, and that to me is much more important than the actual injury itself. Do you know what? I don't need to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. But so it's our thoughts that create our reality, really. Okay? And it's the thoughts that we buy into, the thoughts that we maintain emotion about, that make us stuck. Yes. So if we have a thought, what will tend to happen, particularly if these things have happened before, is that we'll have continuous thoughts about that thing, and then we'll have emotions about that event or that thing that's just happened, and then we create emotions about it, and then we create beliefs about it, and then we kind of go, I knew things would happen that way because we've created a belief, and then we've got what is it? Cognitive bias. I can't remember all the psychological terms for it all. Okay, confirmation bias. That's the one. Confirmation bias, which basically means that when we go out into the world and we've got a belief, we see the things that we want to see. It's like the algorithm in Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok and whatever. Okay, if you like something, if you put a little emoji on there and you comment on something and you just share it and do whatever, okay, the algorithm will start showing you more of that stuff. Okay, if you spend more time on a particular video or a particular reel or a particular picture, guess what? The algorithm is going to pick that up and it's going to show you more of that. Okay, our brain is kind of the same as the algorithms on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever else. Okay, if the more time you spend on something, the algorithm will go, you want to pay attention to that, so here's some more of it. And we have that with our beliefs. Okay, it's exactly the same thing. And do you know what I'm finding quite weird right now? I've got YouTube in the background, I've got TikTok on my phone in front of me, and my right hand is over on one side of the screen, and then it's the same hand is over on the other side of the screen for the other one, because one's mirrored and one's not, which is slightly distracting. But your brain is basically running an algorithm to do with your beliefs. And if your beliefs are that I'm always injured, I'm always in pain, I never perform, I never do this, it will find evidence either within your memories or within the reality that you find yourself in right now of, here's where I'm failing, here's where I'm not doing well, here's where I'm in pain, here's where I'm struggling, here's where I'm sad, here's where I'm all this kind of stuff, because that's what we've trained it to do. We've paid attention to the things that we don't want. And when you stop paying attention to the things that we don't want and start paying attention to the things that we do want, it takes a little bit of effort. Okay, you could literally pen, paper, and start writing down all the things in your life that you are wanting, that you have, okay, that you already have. What are the things that I already have that I want to expand on? What are the things I already have that I want to expand on? Oh yeah, there's money in the bank. Cool. Okay, there's a roof over my head. Cool. There's kids, there's family, there's job, there's pay. It doesn't matter how much it is. It might not be what you want it to be, but you've already got the thing that you want. Okay, where in your life are you happy? Okay, there will be something in your life that you are happy about. Okay, there will be something in your life that you're happy about. There's something in your life there's something in your body that doesn't hurt. There's something in your body that works really well. Okay, instead of focusing on, oh, this hurts, 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 that gets us into a bit of a pity cycle. And our brain goes, ah, this person, you really want to focus on pain. So I'm going to help you to focus on pain. It's not that the pain doesn't exist. It's that we focused on it and therefore we get more of it. And our neurology loves us. Okay. The ego loves us. So it's like, you want to spend time thinking about pain. I'm going to make you think about pain. Okay? And the more we think about pain, the more it comes up. The more and more and more it comes up. So good morning. We got Charlie here. Just brief. People come and go very quickly, Charlie. But if you've got an ache or pain or an injury, let us know and see what we can do. See you later, Charlie. Charlie did not have an ache, pain, or an injury, apparently. Unfortunately, in my experience, everyone's got something. Everyone has tight muscles. Everyone has beliefs that they have that they would prefer not to have. Everyone has emotions and situations in their life that they would prefer not to have. And good morning, Gracie. Thank you. Might be an accidental likes, who knows? Everyone has stuff in their life that they would prefer to get rid of. If that didn't exist, they would be like, yeah, I'd be much happier if that didn't exist. Yeah, scroll by onto, I don't know, someone selling freaking, what are they? Treadmills, £100 treadmills in a Black Friday sale. Okay, or I don't know, whatever. Shall we? No, if I close my eyes and do that, everything cancels. Okay. My super skill, my super skill is listening to people's words and phrases. Okay, because their words and phrases dictate their life. And your words and phrases dictate your life. And you need to be aware of them. You need to become aware of what words and phrases you're actually using. I was reminded last night of it's philosophy. Okay, not people. Many people like philosophy, but whatever. Okay, Plato's allegory of the cave, and basically, a group of people. Imagine the entire world is locked inside a cave, and one person escapes. Somehow they escape. There's literally no escape for anyone. And on the wall, as before the person escapes, on the wall in front of them, there is the shadows. Okay, and there's a source of light, and there's shadows on the wall in front of them. And they think they're all sat there going, "Well, this is the real world." All these shadows that they don't even know they're shadows. Okay, all these images they're seeing on the wall in front of them, that's what's real. Okay, but from an outside observer looking at the cave and looking at the things and going, that's not real. Okay, it's like, and then this person goes out of the cave because they've escaped somehow. The chains that held them there disappeared, and they go out and they see the sun and they see the birds and they see the grass and they see the trees and all this kind of stuff. And they go back into the cave and they've learned the truth. Okay, and they go back into the cave and they start telling these people the truth who are chained, and they don't believe him or her. Okay, they don't believe this person who's gone out, because it's like, no. The only thing that's real is this thing that's right here. That's this thing that's right in front of us. Okay, we can't move. Surely the other thing is not real. Okay, they don't believe him, and that's kind of what our thoughts are like. Okay, we're looking through our eyes. We've got our beliefs. Okay, and we're seeing the shadows on the wall. But then we have this other thing. We have this person who's escaped. This person who knows the truth has come back in and gone, this is not true. Okay, so that's how we want to treat our ego. That's how we want to treat our life. Is that all these things that I'm seeing, all these things that I'm believing, they're just shadows on the cave wall. But there is an absolute truth. There is another truth that, or another, like the actual truth, rather than a perceived truth, that for some reason I cannot see. Okay, I'm stuck in a belief pattern of, this is what's real, what's in front of me, but actually what's really real is something else. Okay, and the something else is easy and it's beautiful and it's effortless and it's simple. Okay, but we get stuck in our little mind cave of suffering, basically. It's like, oh yeah, my life's like this and I'm stuck this way. But honestly, it doesn't have to be that way. It's about going, okay, yeah, this is whatever I'm believing, whatever I'm thinking right now, that's not necessarily true. Okay, it might be partially true, it might be true to some degree, but it's not necessarily wholly and completely true, and it's not something you're necessarily completely stuck with, which is what I'm working with people to kind of uncover, find, and help people work through, so that they can be free. Okay, so that they can break out of the chains and go up and see the real world in the cave allegory. Okay, I just need to, it's just like opening some eyes, bringing some awareness to actually, you're not the thing you think you are. Okay, you're the thing behind the thing that you think you are. Okay, and the thing, and that thing is pure consciousness. That thing is truth. That thing is completely uninjured. That thing is completely healthy. That thing is completely perfect in every single way. And it's about recognizing and opening ourselves up to becoming more like that thing. Okay, it could happen in an instant. Possible. Unlikely, because that's a lot of beliefs just to slice through all in one go. But it could happen all in one go, and just leave the door open for, do you know what, my life could completely change in absolutely one moment and be completely different. So I'm going to return back to offering out stuff on injuries, stuff on aches, pains, stuff on beliefs, whatever it is, because it's our beliefs that keep us in. It's the ego, really, that keeps us stuck. Okay, it wants to stay the same. Okay, this is where the spiritual types talk about frequency and raising our vibration and all this kind of stuff. Fine. Okay, it's the same kind of mindset, but with just language that I don't really use. I mean, I could use that language. It's fine. Okay, we could get all airy-fairy, and I could wear robes and purple and sparkles and wear nettle clothing and stuff. But I'm just, just a normal dude. Okay, you don't need to fall into that archetype to be spiritual. Okay, that's a spiritual ego. There's a spiritual ego right there. Someone who's walking around airy-fairy, giving out lavender and blessing people as they go by, and it's spiritual ego, and it's completely unnecessary. You don't need it. It's fun though. And that's why people do it, okay? Because the ego is like, yes, I'm going to be spiritual. To raise my vibration, I must wear these clothes, and I must do these things, and I must do my affirmations daily, and I must do this, and I must do that. Spiritual ego then keeps you locked into being spiritual. It's quite funny, really, because I probably nearly went down that road. It's just too stubborn to. I'm kind of glad I didn't. So yeah, I don't know, just some weird bloke talking to himself. I'm not weird. That's a belief. Yeah, belief that I'm weird. Okay, let's let that go. Where does weird reside in my? Let's do an example. Where does weird reside in me? Where does what kind of wanting to be weird? Where is let go of weird? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let go of being weird. Okay, you're absolutely allowed to be weird. Absolutely allowed to be weird. But don't make it your personality. Just like you're absolutely allowed to be in pain. You're absolutely allowed to be sad. You're absolutely allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be depressed. You're allowed to be guilty. You're allowed to be all of these things. But you don't need to make it your personality. You don't need to make it your identity. Okay, and that's the trick, is becoming identified as something. I'm alive recently, 2, 3, 4 days ago, one of the commenters was like, yeah, I really don't like labels, and I had to go, but it was I don't like labels. So yeah, I don't like labels either, because labels keep us stuck. Labels keep us trapped into a imagined, basically an imagined set of beliefs, an imagined way of being. Okay, so if you get given a diagnosis of, say, I don't know, I had Achilles tendonitis for a long time, from on and off, from about the age of 8 or 9. Okay, so because I was playing football, I was running, I was swimming, I was doing judo, I was fairly sporty. And then I stopped playing sport for a while, and then I joined the army and basically my my excuse for getting out of a lot of things was like, I can't run. Okay, but then it kind of bit me in the butt at some point in life, and I didn't get medically discharged, but that was part. It was the injuries were part of the reason why I left. I couldn't promote, and that was annoying. And there was a whole bunch of other stuff about not being able to promote. But basically, and since then, that's why I learned all this stuff about the body, because I was like, well, the physios are either not telling me something or whatever, or maybe my body's just different. I'm special, okay? And the exercise program wasn't working, okay? Because I was getting worse. Okay, I went from being able to run a few miles, and after a couple of miles there was pain, and I went down to like, I can't even run a mile without pain now. And it became part of my identity. And as I said, I used it to my benefit. I got out stuff that I didn't want to do. I'm absolutely fine now. So I went off and learned all these things about how the nervous system works, how everything's kind of interconnected in the body. It's not just like, oh, you've got Achilles tendonitis, you need to train your calves, okay, and maybe your glutes, and work on your posterior chain and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't just that. There's emotions in there, there's beliefs in there, there's thoughts about running. So if I have thoughts about running, in my mind, what are my beliefs about runners? What are my beliefs about long distance runners? Okay? And from a young age, middle and long distance runners were injured, okay? Because my mum did, 5Ks, 10Ks, and she was often injured. She was always working on something. So I kind of learned from quite a young age that, people who run get injured. Okay. Or I watched the Olympics and I watched, athletics events and whatever. Runners constantly getting injured. Hey, why isn't so-and-so here? Oh, he's injured. Dean Macy. Oh, he's injured. Whoever else, Linford Christie. He's injured. Why are they not at the Olympics? Why are they not at the World Championships? Why are they not at the Diamond League events or whatever it was? So-and-so's injured. Okay, and I developed this belief that runners are injured. And that's not very helpful if you want to be a runner. Hey, that's not very helpful if you like running. Hey, because every time I run, I get injured. Hey, now I've kind of worked that out, and I can go out running and I don't get injured. Okay, it's taken a long time to get there, but I want people to kind of recognize it's our beliefs, it's our thoughts that change how our body works, which then leads to the result that we get. Okay, the beliefs change how we work, which then leads to the results that we get. So we're working on beliefs, okay? And I can't believe I've turned into Tony fucking Robbins here. Do you know what? I watched I Am Not Your Guru a few years ago. I think not long after it came out on Netflix. And then I dug into Tony Robbins a bit, and it's quite impressive. And I saw a few of his like old YouTube videos. And he was digging into people's beliefs. And he wasn't like, he didn't style himself as a healer. Okay, obviously, I Am Not Your Guru was the title of the documentary. I don't know if it's still there, by the way. So yeah, and he was working on people's beliefs, and he'd help them get rid of stammers. He'd help them get rid of, not necessarily intentionally. He'd help them with their business. He'd help them with all these kinds of things, and it all stems from beliefs. If you don't believe that you can do it, then either you're not going to start, or you're going to put in a half-assed attempt and not do it. So you've got to start from the point of, I believe I can do it. I believe I can change. I believe I can get the result that I want. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to get it. Okay. So this is, again, if I loop back a little bit, this is where labels are really unhelpful, or they can be very unhelpful. Because we get into this state of, oh, I grew up here, that means that. I went to this school, that means that. I have this injury, I have this pain, that means that. Okay. I have children, that means that. I have a wife, I have a partner, I have that, whatever, that means that. Okay, I'm balding, that means another something else. Okay. And we tie meaning to labels, and we tie beliefs and our thoughts to these labels, and then we get into a little box and we go, this is where I am. And that keeps us in that little box. and that keeps that injury, it keeps that pain, it keeps that particular level of life, whatever it might be money making, it might be career, it might be relationships, it could be anything. Okay, it keeps us stuck in a box. Okay, so if you want to break out the box, you got to change what you believe. You go, even if it's just well, maybe it is a bit different, maybe what I'm thinking isn't quite true, even if it's just that, that's often enough for you to make some kind of alteration to what you do. It's kind of why I'm here doing this now. It's like, well, maybe it will work. Maybe, if I try again, if I do something a little bit different. Okay, and for me, this is a little bit different. It's not hugely different, but it's a little bit different. Giving it a go. Do you know what? We'll give it a good go. We're not just going to do this for a few days. We're going to do it for a few weeks, and we'll see where we're at in a few weeks. Okay, maybe there's more followers. Maybe there's a bit more interest. Maybe there's people I've helped. Maybe there's some testimonials coming in. Maybe there's new clients coming in. Who knows? Okay, I could decide now, really, okay, by doing TikTok live, by doing YouTube live, there will be more clients. There will be more followers. There will be more course sales. There will be more whatever. Okay, there will be more ideas. There will be more people that I'm helping. Okay, and which really what is the ultimate goal is I just want to help more people, and I want people to be successful. I want people to be happy. I want people to have a healthy body. Okay, I want people to kind of not disregard the government, but not allow the government, not allow politics, not allow economics to dictate how they feel. Do not let other people's actions dictate how you feel. Do not let circumstances of life that you feel like you find yourself in dictate how you feel. Because once we do that, that then puts us in the box. Okay, we get stuck in the box. Okay, and then we can't break out. So I want to break out of the box. Oh, maybe that's a new channel name. Break out of the box. Who knows? Break out of the box. BOO. I don't like it as an acronym. BOOTB. BOOTB. Break out of the box. Maybe a new business name. Who knows? Who knows? Good morning. If you've got an ache, pain, or injury, let's go back to the original thing. If you've got an ache, pain, injury, health problem, let us know. Leave it in a comment. I'll see what I can do to help. Largely, at the very least, there is an emotional element to these things. And if we can reduce the emotional element to these things, the pain, the ache, the something or other, whatever it is you have, eases off. Okay, and that's how we go. Yeah. I don't know if let me ask you a question. Would you prefer an expert on one topic or a kind of a very good generalist on many topics? Which would be better? We got Good morning. All right, I'm going to end YouTube over here. We're going to stick around on TikTok for a little while.